What happens when the happiest day of your life becomes the moment the person you love confesses the biggest lie of your life? Tonight we meet Sarah, whose world shattered while wearing her wedding dress. With 200 guests waiting, when the man of her dreams said words that destroyed everything. Hello, I'm Rachel Kane. This is the Confession Room. The story you'll hear today is about love's darkest face, about how a woman's 3-year relationship collapsed when her fiancé made a confession, 3 hours before their wedding. I never loved you. It was all a bet. How did these words change Sarah's life? And more importantly, what was the real truth behind these words? Sarah is 29 years old. She had planned the perfect wedding, found the perfect man, built the perfect life. Until that moment arrived, she's never told this story to anyone before. Even her family doesn't know the truth. She told everyone it was cold feet, but the reality? The reality is much more complex. If you've ever experienced a moment where you said this can't be real, if you've learned that the person closest to you has been lying to you, this story will feel very familiar. Sarah is here today because she can no longer carry this burden alone, because sometimes the truth, no matter how painful, must be told. Now, Sarah, I'm giving you the floor, and I know this won't be easy.
On my wedding day, my fiancé told me I never loved you. It was all a bet. And until that moment, I thought I was the luckiest woman in the world. I've pushed myself very hard to tell this story, because it's been 2 years since that day. And I still wake up every morning hearing those words. My name is Sarah. I'm 29 years old. Or I was 29 that day. Now I'm 31. But I feel like I stopped aging after that day. As if time stopped at that moment. I met Michael 3 years ago, at a friend's birthday party. He was the most attractive man in the room. Tall, dark-haired, blue-eyed. His smile turned my world upside down. And for some reason, he chose to talk to me that night. I didn't believe in love at first sight. Until I saw Michael. When he approached me that night, my heart started beating wildly. I felt like I knew him. Like I had finally come home. "Hello, beautiful," he said. This could have been cliché, but coming from his mouth, it was like magic. We talked for hours that night. About everything. Our dreams, our fears, our past. He spoke so easily, as if I had known him for years. He told me about his childhood. Said he had a difficult childhood, that his family didn't understand him. There was a brokenness in his eyes. And I wanted to heal him. Our first date was perfect. He took me to a fancy restaurant. Brought flowers. Opened doors for me. He was the perfect gentleman. Like a fairy tale prince. Our relationship developed very quickly. On our second date, he told me he was in love with me. I said the same to him. On our third date, we talked about living together. On our fourth date, about moving in together. Everyone said too fast, but I wasn't listening. Because this was true love. This was destiny. This was the rest of my life. We got engaged after 6 months. He proposed very romantically. On the beach, at sunset, kneeling on one knee. The ring was perfect. Exactly what I wanted. But how did he know? "Sarah, you're my life," he had said. "I can't live without you. Will you marry me?" Of course I said yes. Screaming, crying, laughing. This was my fairy tale. Our engagement period was also perfect. Michael wanted to be involved in everything. Wedding planning, choosing flowers, cake tasting. "If you're happy, I'm happy," he would say. But now I think about it, maybe it was too perfect. Maybe it was too easy. Do real relationships happen this flawlessly? Wedding preparations took a full year. I wanted to make even the smallest detail perfect. Because this wasn't just a wedding. This was the beginning of my fairy tale. We prepared a guest list of 200 people. The union of 2 families. Friends, relatives, work colleagues. Everyone was coming to celebrate our love. My wedding dress. Oh, my wedding dress was perfect. Lace like a princess dress, It cost $5,000, but it was worth it. Because I wanted to see the expression on Michael's face. I wanted to make him feel I was worth it. When I woke up on the morning of the wedding, I was very excited. A little nervous, of course, but happy. This was going to be the happiest day. The day I had dreamed of since childhood. I got my hair done, my makeup done. My friends were with me. They all told me how beautiful I looked. How lucky I was. What a perfect couple we were. My hands were shaking when I put on my wedding dress. From excitement, from love, from happiness. When I looked in the mirror, I couldn't recognize myself. I looked like a princess. Michael will faint when he sees you, said my maid of honor Jenny. I hope so too. This was the moment I had been waiting for 3 years. I wanted to see that expression on his face. I wanted his breath to be taken away when he saw me. Was 2:45. The wedding was at 5. Everything was going according to plan. The flowers were ready, the cake was in place. Guests were starting to arrive. Then Michael called. Sarah, I need to talk to you, he said. His voice sounded strange, tense, scared. Now? The wedding is in 3 hours. I know, but this can't wait. My heart started pounding, but in a bad way. For the first time, I thought something bad might happen. What's happening, Michael? Cold feet? This is normal, everyone feels it. No, Sarah, this isn't cold feet. I need to see you, now. But traditionally, we don't meet before the wedding. Sarah, he said. His voice was so serious that my breath caught. Please. 30 minutes later, we met in the hotel lobby. He was wearing his suit, looking very handsome. But his face was very pale. Like he was sick. When he saw me, he stopped. He looked at me for exactly 30 seconds. He didn't say anything. You look beautiful, he finally said. Thank you. You look very handsome too. I tried to smile. Now what's this emergency? I'm curious. He sat down. I sat down too. He took my hands, but his hands were cold, trembling. Sarah, he said, I need to tell you something. And this is very difficult. Whatever it is, we can handle it, Michael. We're a team, remember? He looked away. He let go of my hands. Sarah, I haven't been honest with you. My heart felt like it would stop. What do you mean? Our relationship, this relationship, it's not real. I tried to understand these words. Not real. What do you mean not real? I don't understand, I said. Of course it's real. We've been together for 3 years. We're engaged. We're getting married in 3 hours. No, Sarah. We're not getting married. The world spun. Like I was dreaming. A bad dream. What? What are you saying? Michael took a deep breath. Then he looked at me and said the most terrible words of my life. I never loved you, Sarah. It was all a bet. When I heard these words, it was like someone had shot me. I couldn't breathe. The words echoed in my head, but I couldn't grasp their meaning. A bet? I whispered. I had made a bet with friends from university. They said, you can't fool any woman for 3 years. None of them are that stupid. And I said I could. Each word was like a knife, stabbing into my heart. For 3 years. Everything. Was it a lie? Not everything, he said. I mean, some moments were nice. You're a good person, Sarah. But I wasn't in love. I never was. I stood up. My legs wouldn't hold me, like I was going to collapse. Why? I asked. Why are you doing this to me? Because I can't marry you. Because this has gone too far. Because I can't take it anymore. You thought to tell me 3 hours before. 200 guests are waiting. My family, my friends. The wedding is ready. I know, and I'm so sorry. But I couldn't wait any longer. I looked at him. This man. This man had lived with me for 3 years, slept with me, whispered his love to me, had agreed to marry me, and now he was telling me everything was a lie. How much was the bet? I asked. Sarah, that's not important. How much, Michael? What were my 3 years worth? He was silent. Silent for a long time. $10,000, he finally said. $10,000. My 3 years, my love, my dreams, were worth $10,000. Did you win? I asked. Sarah, did you win the bet? Yes, he said. I won. At that moment, something inside me died. Not just my heart breaking. A part of my soul died. Did you ever really love me at all? I asked, with one last hope. He looked at me, and did the most merciless thing. He was honest. No, Sarah, I didn't love you, I'm sorry. Everyone in the lobby was looking at us. A woman in a wedding dress, crying. A man in a suit, looking guilty. They were trying to understand what was happening. Why are you telling me now? I asked. Why not yesterday? Why not a week ago? Because last night I was at my bachelor party with friends, and they kept talking about the bet, about how incredible I was, how I fooled you, and I was disgusted with myself. You were disgusted? After 3 years, you were disgusted. I know, I'm late. Very late. But I can't do it anymore. I can't marry you because this is wrong. You deserve better. You deserve better. After lying for 3 years, now he was telling me I deserved better. What about the guests? I asked. We'll tell them. Cold feet. They'll understand. 200 people, Michael. 200 people came to celebrate our love. Some came from other countries. No. I'm sorry to all of them. He was apologizing. Like he had spilled water on a glass, he was apologizing. What will I tell my family? I asked. My mother took out a loan for this wedding. My father spent all his savings. I don't know, Sarah. I really don't know. He didn't know. Of course he didn't know. Because it wasn't real for him. None of it was real. The last 3 years flashed before my eyes. Our first date. Our first kiss. Our first I love you. The engagement. Night. Wedding planning. Our future dreams. Was everything a lie? Everything? Was there ever anything real? I asked. He thought. He really thought. You're a beautiful person, Sarah, and you have a good heart. That's real. And some moments were nice. But love? No. There was never love. Some moments were nice. In the most important 3 years of my life, some moments were nice. Then why didn't you ever leave me? Why did you continue for 3 years? Because it was easy. You were trying to make me happy. You were doing everything for me. And I got used to it. I was doing everything for him. Because I loved him. Because I wanted to make him happy. And he had used that. Were there other women? I asked. He was silent. Michael, were there other women? A few, he said. But it wasn't serious. A few. During our 3-year relationship, there were other women. And I had never noticed. Who knew? I asked. What? The bet. Who knew? Just a few friends from university. Which friends, Michael? Friends who are coming to the wedding. Sarah is here today because she can no longer carry this burden alone. Because sometimes the truth, no matter how painful, must be told. Now. Sarah, I'm giving you the floor. And I know this won't be easy. He was silent, and from that silence I understood. Yes, they would come. They would be at our wedding. They would celebrate the man who succeeded in fooling me. I stood up. I took my bag. Sarah, where are you going? I don't know, I said. But? Away from you. Sarah, wait. We can talk. We can find a solution. I turned to him. I looked at him one last time. This man had been my world for 3 years. I saw him as the father of my future. He was the man I would grow old with. And now he was a stranger. What solution, Michael? Should we get married? Have children? Celebrate our 50th anniversary? It will all be a lie because you don't love me. Maybe in time. No, I said. No, Michael. 3 years was enough. If you couldn't love me in 3 years, you never will. I left the hotel. In my wedding dress, I started walking down the street. People were looking at me. Woman in wedding dress, crying. They wondered about my story. My phone was ringing. My mother, my father, my friends. Wedding time was approaching. They were worried. Jenny called. Sarah, where are you? Everyone's waiting. The wedding is cancelled, I said. What? Why? What happened? I talked to Michael. We're not getting married. Cold feet? Sarah, this is normal. Come, let's talk. No, Jenny, this isn't cold feet. This is something else. I went home. I looked in the mirror. Perfect wedding dress. Perfect makeup. Perfect hair. Perfect lie. I took off the dress. I knew I would never wear it again. I hung it at the back of the closet. My mother came. Sarah, what happened? What did Michael say? How could I tell her? How could I say that my 3-year relationship was a bet? He said he doesn't love me, I said. How can he not love you? You've been together for 3 years. You're engaged. I couldn't tell the whole story. It was too shameful. I just said, he realized. He doesn't love me. The following days were hell. Calling guests, apologizing, cancelling wedding plans. Everyone was very sad. Everyone was understanding. But I was just ashamed. 2 weeks later, Michael called again. Sarah, how are you? What do you want, Michael? I want to talk to you. I want to apologize. You already apologized. It wasn't enough. What I did was terrible. Yes, it was. Can I make it up to you? I laughed. But it was a bitter laugh. How will you make it up, Michael? Will you give me back my 3 years? Will you give me back my faith in fairy tales? I don't know. But I want to do something. The only thing you can do is get out of my life. And I hung up the phone. I was depressed for months. I wouldn't leave the house. I wouldn't see anyone. I would just lie down, cry, think. How could I have been so blind? How did I never notice? For 3 years, the man next to me, didn't he really love me? Were there signs? Now I think maybe there were. Maybe it was too perfect. Maybe it was too easy. Maybe it was too calculated. But I was in love. And people in love don't see what they don't want to see. 6 months later, I started therapy. My doctor said, "It's not your fault. You were manipulated." But I blamed myself for being so stupid, for being so naive, for not seeing the signs. Love is blind, my doctor said. You loved. He abused. 1 year later, I learned that Michael got married. To someone else. Jenny told me. Do you know? Michael got married. I was surprised. And strangely, I was a little relieved too. Who? You don't know her? Someone named Emma. Everything happened very fast. Very fast. Just like with me. I wonder if he's fooling her too. I asked. Jenny shrugged. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe Emma was also a bet. Maybe he really loved her. I didn't know. And I didn't want to know. 2 years have passed. I slowly started to heal. I made new friends, new hobbies, new job. But I still can't trust. When I meet someone new, I constantly doubt. Is this real? Or is it a game? Last month, I met someone named Mark. He's a very good person. Kind, understanding, seems honest. But I'm scared. You're very beautiful, he said to me. And I thought, Michael used to say that too. I love spending time with you, he said. And I thought, Michael used to say that too. I question every word. I analyze every move. Is this a bet? Is it a game? Or is it real? This is the biggest damage Michael gave me. He didn't just break my heart. He destroyed my faith and love. Now I see every man as a potential liar. Every relationship as a potential game. And this isn't living. This is just surviving. Am I still angry at Michael? Yes, but now I'm more angry at myself than at him. For how I could be so stupid. Do I regret it? This is a difficult question. Do I regret wasting 3 years? Yes, but this experience taught me a lot too. Now I'm more careful, more suspicious. I don't trust people immediately. I don't know if this is good or bad, but this is my new reality. Sometimes I think, what if Michael really started to love me? Didn't he feel anything for 3 years? Didn't his conscience ever hurt? But then I remember, he waited until the wedding day, until 3 hours. What kind of heart is this? What kind of conscience? And I ask myself this question. What would have happened if Michael hadn't come that day? What if we had gotten married? What if we had children? A life built on a lie. A never-ending game. Would this have been worse? I don't know. All I know is, that day my life changed. That day the old Sarah died. And the new Sarah is still trying to heal. Why am I telling this story? Because maybe there are other Sarahs out there. Maybe other people are being fooled like this too. And maybe they can notice. Pay attention to the signs. If it's too perfect, be suspicious. If it's too easy, question it. And most importantly, don't lose yourself. Because real love changes you but doesn't destroy you. I've been trying to find myself for 2 years. I still haven't fully found myself. But I'm not giving up, because I know I deserve to be loved. Real love. Not a bet, not a game, real love. And one day, someone will really love me. Not for a bet, not for money, but for who I am. Until that day. Until that day I'm learning to love myself. Because for someone else to love me, I must first love myself. This is my story. Painful but true. And if it helps even one person, then it was worth telling. Asterisk Michael. If you're watching this, I'm not angry at you anymore, but I want you to know how wrong what you did was. And I hope you're not doing the same thing to Emma, because no one deserves to experience this pain. And if there are other people out there who have been fooled like me, I want you to know this isn't your fault. You just loved. And loving isn't a crime. But be more careful now. Protect your heart. And never, ever change yourself for someone else. Because when the right person comes, they'll love you as you are. Without bets, without games, with completely real love. Until that day, be patient and love yourself. Because you deserve to be loved. Sarah is here today because she can no longer carry this burden alone. Because sometimes the truth, no matter how painful, must be told. Now. Sarah, I'm giving you the floor. And I know this won't be easy.
Sarah, first of all, Thank you for sharing such a personal and painful experience with us. I know this wasn't easy, but I admire your courage. Now everyone listening should know this. What happened to Sarah isn't just a relationship ending. This is systematic manipulation. This is emotional abuse. This is the exploitation of a person's most beautiful feelings at their most vulnerable moment. Sarah, you did nothing wrong. You just loved. And loving, trusting, opening your heart to someone else. These are beautiful things. These are the most valuable aspects of being human. What Michael did, this isn't just a crime against you, but against love itself. He used your pure feelings, your innocent heart, like a game board. But what I see when I listen to you is this. You broke, but you didn't disappear. You were shaken, but you stayed standing. And most importantly, you still have a heart open to love. I want to say this to everyone listening to this story. If you find yourself constantly doubting in a relationship, if something seems too perfect, listen to your instincts. Love is blind, yes, but your instincts always speak, and as Sarah said, real love changes you, but doesn't destroy you. Real love gives you strength, doesn't weaken you. Real love is transparent, doesn't make secret bets. Sarah, you mentioned Mark, and you said you're scared. This is normal. This is even healthy. But I hope one day comes when those fears give way to trust, because you deserve real love. And finally, I want to say something to Michael too. If you're watching this, I want you to know what you did. Didn't just destroy Sarah's life, but also destroyed your own soul. Because someone who can do such a thing can never experience real love. You lost yourself in that bet. You stole Sarah's money, but you also killed your own conscience. And Emma, if you're also watching, please be careful. Look for signs, ask questions, and never stop being yourself. Sarah, I want to tell you one last thing. You are strong, very strong. Being able to tell this story, being able to learn from this pain, still being open to love. These are the things that make you strong, and I'm sure that one day, when the right person comes, this experience will be very valuable to you, because now you'll be able to distinguish real love from lies. Until that day, be patient, love yourself, and never give up, because the end of your story hasn't been written yet. And I'm sure a happy ending will come. After listening to this story, if you've experienced something similar, know that you're not alone. If you think you're currently in such a relationship, please seek help. And remember, real love requires patience, but lies rush. Real love gives confidence, but manipulation creates doubt. Real love accepts you as you are, but games try to change you. Protect your heart, but don't close it. Because when the right love comes, you must be strong enough to open that door. Now I'm asking you. After listening to Sarah's story, how do you feel? Have you ever experienced something similar? Did you notice the signs in this story? What else do you think Sarah could have done? Share in the comments, because sometimes one person's experience can save another person's life. And remember, this is the confession room. We're not here to judge, but to understand. In our next video, we'll talk to a woman whose life changed with a message she received from her husband on the last day of their 10-year marriage. I've always loved you, but the person I'm in love with is your best friend. Sarah is here today because she can no longer carry this burden alone. Because sometimes the truth, no matter how painful, must be told. Now, Sarah, I'm giving you the floor. And I know this won't be easy.